Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Fraser Field. Lynn Tech taking on Nashoba Tech. And I'll tell you right up front, I apologize. I do not have first names for Nashoba. This is Collins, the shortstop, leading off for Nashoba. Dylan DiFilippo on the mound for Tech. Tech looking to get a little closer to 500. They're 4-6. Nashoba trying to get over 500. They're 5-5. On a clear sky night, but it's kind of chilly. It's been getting cooling off. I imagine when the sun goes down, it'll get a little cold. It was right around 60 when the first pitch was thrown. And it'll probably drop down considerably. Strike three call. Good pitch on the corner by DiFilippo. So one up by way of the call, third strike. Eddie Lewis, the head coach for Lynn Tech, former outstanding athlete. Currier, the third baseman, will be the hitter. Popped up. Second baseman calls everybody off. And Eddie Lewis, the second baseman, son of the coach, makes the play. So two quick outs in the top of the first. Ferreira, the center fielder, will be the hitter. Chased that high pitch and swung right through it. Chased the low pitch and swung right through it. Now, if we want to hit the trifecta, we'll throw one down the middle. And he did, right down the middle for strike three. So a 1-2-3 inning for DiFilippo on the Tigers. Two of the outs by strikeouts. So we'll start the bottom of the first. It'll be Eddie Lewis, the second baseman, leading off. Coldy Buckland will play third and bat second. Mario Giordano, the first baseman, hits third. In a cleanup spot is the pitcher, Dylan DiFilippo. Catching and batting fifth, Dylan Nordyke. Roman Valdez, the center fielder, will hit sixth. Batting seventh and playing first base, Will McCaffrey. Harrison Agramonte, the left fielder, will hit number 8. And Colin Newhall, the right fielder, will bat number 9. Barrett is on the mound for Nashoba Tech. As we clean out Manning Field, there were 7 buses and there were massive humanity over there with multi-teams in a track meet. And now it'll calm down over there. The lights are still on, but they'll go off a little later on. And they'll come on here a little later on. So we'll start at the bottom of the first in this Commonwealth Conference small division. And the coach's son, Eddie Lewis, will lead it off, the second baseman. Tech trying to make it a sweep by Lynn here today. St. Mary's won the first game against Bishop Fee. Adolph Graziali making a grand entrance, shaking hands and greeting everybody, the AD of Lynn Tech. Low for a ball. So Adolph coming in late. I'm blessed with his assistant, Joe Conlon, sitting next to me, guiding and helping me. I need all the help I can get. Foul tip held on to by the catcher. That pitch was up and in. Swing and a miss. And all of a sudden, that sun from out off to the left comes up bright as it's been in a long time. Way high for a ball. Didn't miss by much. That's a tough pitch to take with 2 strikes. And the count goes full. So he loses him. He walks Lewis. Lewis becomes the first base runner in the game. And I bring up Coldy Buckland, the third baseman. Pitching down and away for a ball. And we got a timeout. The base umpire called timeout for some reason. Talking to the pitcher. Something about the rubber. I don't know whether it was. He didn't call anything because it's not saying his foot wasn't in touch with the rubber. High for a ball. They throw it down. Lewis popped off the bag. Barrett pitched very quickly. He didn't really look over at first base. See if Lewis can get a jump. Missing for ball 3. So this is a case if you look to your left, you get blinded by the sun. In for a strike. 3-1 the count to the Tigers' third baseman. High and tight. So back-to-back walks to start the game. It's not a ball. He called a balk. And he talked to the pitcher about the rubber. That was ball 4 up and in, but they called a balk so the pitch doesn't count. So it's still 3-0. That's ball 4. So first and second with nobody out for Mario Giordano, and now we're going to get a trip out to the mound. Barrett was having some kind of trouble. The umpire talked to him, pointed out something about the pitcher's mound, and then the very next pitch, they called a balk. So I don't know what that was all about. But for the Tigers, it's back-to-back walks. So first and second, nobody out here in the bottom of the first. We mentioned Tech trying to get back to 500, 4-6. Nashoba trying to stay over 500, or trying to go over 500. They're 5-5. Here at renovated Frazier Field, the place looks absolutely gorgeous. They still got some work to do on the dugouts, the lights, but the field is absolutely gorgeous. And I was wondering what they're going to do with the pitches mound. I thought the mound might be dirt, but it's not. It's turf as well. So everything is turf. As opposed to, there was 3 different versions before this was done. We had dirt on the mound, grass in the outfield, and turf in the infield. So now it's all turf. Hit foul. So we always like to see when he walks the first 2 batters have the hitter swing at the first pitch. Wide for a ball. Mario Giordano was the first baseman for the Tigers. Sliding back, diving back at first is A. Lewis on the throw over by Barrett. I was about to say the right side is wide open because the second baseman was standing on the second base bag. And Giordano hits it right through the right side. So 2 walks and a single have loaded the bases with nobody out. And Dylan DiFilippo, the pitcher, can help himself. He throws right, bats left. Nashoba will bring the infield in. High and tight for a ball. In for a strike. Foul tip off the catcher. The count goes to 1-2. And that pitch evens it at 2-2 as it's wide. Outside. Nashoba brought a few fans. Tech has brought a few fans. High for a ball, so a big pitch coming up for both teams. Barrett has to throw a strike. Oh, he's going to give Tech the lead. Pitching from the stretch with the bases loaded. Hit in the air to right center field. It's in the gap. All the way back to the fence. 3 runs are going to score. In with a stand-up double. The pitcher helping himself. He got all of that one. So 1 swing of the bat. DiFilippo helps himself to a 3-run cushion. And there's still a runner at second with nobody out for Dylan Nordyke, the catcher. A rip into right center field all the way to the fence. Dylan Nordyke wearing number 99. I don't know if he's a catcher or a linebacker. Up and away for a ball. So there's 2 walks hurt as they come around to score the first 2 runs. As the lights come on here at Frazier Field. Hit in the air to right field. Coming on, he looked like he was settling in to catch it. He had to make a couple of quick steps. To right fielder Blaisdell finally tracks it down for the first out. Roman Valdez, the center fielder. Hitting from the left side. Missing inside for a ball. Chase, that pitch was inside, swung right through it, 1-1. Swings through it again, 1-2. High for a ball. Evens the count at 2. Popped up. Long run for the first baseman. He runs out of real estate. Actually, the ball bounced right off the fence behind first base. We'll do it again at 2-2. They checked with the base umpire to see if he swung. He stepped away and almost swung at it. It was inside, so the count goes 3-2. Takes that pitch for strike 3. Good pitch on the corner. So 2 away for Will McCafferty. McCafferty is the first baseman. Waves at the first pitch for strike 1. He's the 7th hitter in the inning. Hit over the shortstop's head for a base hit. That's going to score a run. So a big 2-out hit by McCafferty. DeFilippo, the pitcher, scoots around third and scores. So the first 4 hitters for Tech in the lineup have scored. Harrison Agramonte, the left fielder, will be the hitter. He's the 8th hitter in the inning. Off the catcher. They weren't holding him on. I thought he was going to go anyway. He held up, then when the ball got away from the catcher, he broke. He's in at second base. McCafferty. Chased that high pitch and swung right through it. That was way over his head. Call third strike. Second strikeout in the inning, but the damage is done with the 2 walks starting the inning. Tech jumps on top. DeFilippo helps himself with a big 3 RBI double, then he scores a run. He helps himself to a 4-0 cushion. It's 4-0 Tech over Nashoba at the end of 1 inning. 4, 5, and 6 for Nashoba. So DeFilippo on the mound, he helped himself to a 4-run cushion with a 3-run double and then scored the 4th run. Not bad for the pitcher helping himself. So Nashoba's in a hole right off the bat. Line shot in the center field. Blaisdell, the second baseman, gets the first hit. He's the first base runner. DeFilippo have retired 3 in a row to start the game. Wells, the second baseman, will be the hitter. The runner takes off. Safe at second base. You might wonder why you steal second down 4-0, because you can. They're down 4-0, but they got a lot of baseball left to play. And that sun is finally going down. Nice stop by Nordyke, the catcher. Way inside, had to duck away from that one. That's ball 4. So a hit and a walk could put 2 on with nobody out. The Santoro, the first baseman. So you get 4 and grab a lead. You don't want to give him back right away. In for a strike. Off the catcher, they're going to move up. Broke down and away. So it's second and third with nobody out. Nashoba can eat into that 4-0 cushion. Popped up. Foul territory. McCaffrey, the first baseman, makes the play. Missing for a ball. This is Pepin, the left fielder. Swing and a miss. Missing high for a ball.
What's up, Johnny? Hey, Bill.
Popped up. It drifts back fair, making the one-handed catch is Buckland at third base. 2 away. Tarnasuk, the catcher, is the hitter. Missing low for a ball. Short hopping it. First baseman. McCaffrey looked like he was going to catch it in the air, then he had to short hop it. He makes the play unassisted. So that's going to kind of take the wind out of the sails of Nashoba. They look like they might be getting back in the game. They had second and third and nobody out. 2 pop-ups and the easy play at first base. They don't score. That's got to hurt because they look like they might be getting back into it. It'll be 9-1-2 for Tech. Colin Newhall, the only batter that didn't hit in the first inning. The right fielder will lead it off against Barrett starting his second inning of work. So it looked like if we get 1 or 2 that inning, we're getting back in it. We got a lot of baseball left. And they don't score with second and third and nobody out. That's got to take the wind out of the sails of Nashoba and give a little bit of lift to Eddie Lewis and the Tigers. Almost looks dark down in the field because the lights haven't taken effect yet because there's still a little bit of a bright sky. We mentioned still some work to do. The lights out in right field are almost out. 18 lights on the pole. There's only 5 of them on. So Newhall will look to get things started for the Tigers in the bottom of the second inning after a big 4-run first inning. Helped by 2 walks to start the inning. And then the big 3 RBI double by the pitcher, DiFilippo. And then the big 2-out single by McCafferty. In for a strike, 1-1. Chased that pitch, swung right through it. 1-2 the count. Duvall asked for time and got it. Down and in for a ball. Evens the count at 2. A little bit of a trip for Nashoba to get here. Down and away for a ball, so he had him 2 strikes. Now he's got to come in with a pitch or put him on. Slap to second base. Easy play for Wells. Over to the first baseman, Santoro. Play goes 4-3 for the first out. Eddie Lewis started a 4-run uprising, drawing a walk and scoring the first run. Missing down the way for a ball. We mentioned Eddie Lewis Jr., coach of the son of the coach. On the corner for a strike. Swing and a miss. 1-2 the count. Missing down and away. Count evens at 2. Good curveball had Lewis backing away. Good pitch by Barrett. Third strikeout for Barrett. Cody Buckland drew the second walk in the first inning and scored the second run. Missing up and away. Down and in, 2-0. In for a strike, 2-1. Hit in the air. That's going to go up in the stands. Deuces Wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in inning number 2. That one kind of slipped. He threw it over the head of Buckland. That's another full count. High and tight. Buckland draws his second walk. Here to bring up Mario Giordano. Punched a single in the right field and scored the third run in the first inning. His single loaded the bases after the 2 walks. And they shift way around. The right fielder over by the line. The center fielder way over in right center field. If he hits the ball to left center, he can run forever. Swung through the high pitch. Buckland was way off the bag at first base. He threw it down, but he got back. Swings through the pitch for strike 2. Reached for that one and popped it up. Just back of the way, stuck the bat out and popped it up to the second baseman. So the walk doesn't hurt. Tigers leave a base runner. We finished 2 in this Commonwealth Conference battle. 4-0 Tech over Nashoba going into the third. First pitch is in for a strike. Dutchman, the DH, hitting for the pitcher. Barrett is the hitter. 9-1-2 as we start the third inning. Wide for a ball. In for a strike. Waved at that pitch. That was outside. He just chased it. Two of the 3 innings, DeFilippo started with a strikeout. That's his third. Collins, the shortstop, led off the game being called out on strikes. Wide for a ball. Waves at that pitch. Chased it. Looked like he was backing away and then decided to swing and chased it. Chased that one and was up and in. So DiFilippo's got help on those last two pitches. And it's 1-2. And now it's 1-3 as they throw him out at first base. Two-way with strikeouts. Curry, the third baseman, popped to the second baseman. In for a strike. Waved at that pitch. Good pitch. It looked like a curveball from DiFilippo. Way out in front of that pitch. And it's 0-2. Almost hit him with that pitch inside. 1-2. That one bounces. So we got deuces wild again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 4-0 Tech here in the top of the third. Off the first baseman's glove. Throw a little bit up the first base side. Curry will reach on the error. Lewis went way to his right, got it. A little off balance when he was trying to get rid of the ball quickly. And it was off to the home plate side of first base and off the glove of the first baseman. Ferreira, the center fielder, called out on strikes. The runner takes off, in with a stolen base. Both times they got a runner at first. Both times they've stole second. Safe at third base. Buckland saying, how could he be safe? Off the catcher's glove, they made the throw. Looked like it was in time, but he slid around, the umpire is saying. So they got a runner at third with 2 outs. Stolen base and a wild pitch after the error. High and tight for a ball. In for a strike. Swing and a miss, the count goes full. So he's behind 3-0. He goes back and pushes it to 3-2. The payoff pitch popped up. Lewis, the second baseman, calls everybody off. And he lost it. It bounced He collided with the shortstop and they dropped the ball. And Nashoba gets on the board. Easy out. Shortstop was there. I don't know if they collided. Lewis waving everybody off. Right at the second base bag. And they dropped the ball. So after 2 quick strikeouts, 2 errors, along with a stolen base and a wild pitch, hit in the air deep to center field. Over the center fielder's head, all the way back to the fence. 1 run is going to score. It's a triple for Blaisdell. He gets 2 RBI. Oh, excuse me, 1 RBI. The other one scored on the error. Just like that, it's 4-2. DiFilippo should have been out of the inning. Hit foul just outside the third base bag. Buckland made the stop. They wouldn't have had a play. The run would have scored. He was down on both knees right at the, just a hair outside the third base bag. Hit to left field, backing up. Making the play is Agramonte. But the damage done after 2 quick strikeouts, a couple of errors, prolonged the inning for the big triple by Blaisdell. So they get 2 runs on 1 hit. We'll move into the bottom half of the third, and the Showbirds get back in it. They've cut the lead in half. It's a 4-2. DiFilippo, the pitcher, will lead it off. He got the big hit in the first inning. After 2 walks and a base hit, loaded the bases, he cleared it with a big 3 RBI double. Then he scored on McCafferty's 2-out single. And that's been it for Tech. They got 4 in the first. The Showbirds just got 2 back thanks to gracious host Lynn Tech. They made 2 big errors in the inning. They should have been out of the inning. Instead, Blaisdell was allowed to hit, and he got a 2 RBI triple. So it's 4-2 as we start at the bottom of the third. So DiFilippo, 1 for 1 with 3 RBI and a run scored, accounting for all 4 runs. In for a strike. Throws right, bats left. He hit a shot into right center field. Swing and a miss. Got his money's worth and swung right through it. Down and in for a ball. Barrett starting his 3rd inning of work. And he winds up hitting DiFilippo. And DiFilippo flies down the first baseline. Looked like he was in a 50-yard dash going down the first baseline. Dylan Nordyke flied out to right field. They threw it down the first. DiFilippo was off the bag, but got back easily. Down and away again. 2-0. Chop foul down the third base line. Count goes 2-1. A bit of a crowd here on a cool night. As I mentioned, Nashoba brought some fans. A lot of tech students here. Parents brought some fans. Nice to see. DiFilippo diving back. Barrett didn't throw it. Barrett stepped off the rubber and just faked the throw. DiFilippo dove back. Sliced foul out of play. Up in the seats. We're going to race to see who gets to the ball first, the player or the fan. And the young lady, the fan, won the race. Chase, that pitcher was breaking outside. Third strikeout for Barrett. Roman Valdez, the center fielder, struck out. He was called on strikes in the first inning. It's a foul going the other way. Up in the seats. High for a ball. They throw it down again, but not close to having a play. Swing and a miss. 1-2. The lights are still on at Manning Field. They had a huge track meet earlier. High and tight for a ball. Evens the count at 2. Valdez quickly looked at the umpire to make sure he took it. Held his breath for the umpire to say ball 2. The runner takes off, 3-2. They send the pitcher, he steals second base. Another full count. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So after a hit batsman, back-to-back strikeouts. Numbers 3 and 4. And Will McCafferty got a big 2-out hit that knocked in the 4th run back in the first inning. So he's 1 for 1 with an RBI. Has to duck under that pitch way inside. Ducked again. Curveball broke late. And it's 2-0. They're very short in left field and center field. He goes the other way with it, hitting it foul down in that grassy knoll behind first base. That's just a little lob. DiFilippo was bouncing off second base. Just a little soft toss to second, trying to keep him close. High for a ball. That's ball 4. So 2 strikeouts squeezed in between a hit batsman and a walk. Give Tech 2 on with 2 out. Harrison Agramonte, the left fielder, was called out on strikes his 1 trip. Swing and a miss. On the inside corner, strike 2. He was backing away from that pitch. Wide for a ball. Miss wide. And we got deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Tech leading by 2. Swing and a miss. He strikes out the side after hitting the batter and walking the batter. 6 strikeouts in 3 innings. We finished 3 in this Commonwealth battle. 4-2, Tech over Nashoba. Waves at the first pitch, tipped it into the glove of Nordyke. This is Santoro. He popped to first base in foul territory his 1 trip. Chased that high pitch. Hit the third, off the third baseman. They throw it away. And hustling it to second is Santoro. Buckland had it, bobbled it momentarily and threw a laser beam, but threw it low and it skipped past McCafferty. So Nashoba has a runner at second with nobody out. Pepin, the left fielder, popped up to third. In for a strike. Santoro at second and Pepin at the plate with the 2 hitters up with second and third and nobody out. And they both popped up, once to first and one to third. And the Tigers get out of that inning, which is huge now. Hit to left field. It dropped for a base hit. I thought that was going to be a double play. I thought the left field was going to catch the ball. I don't know if he lost it in the lights. It was just a little flare into left field, and it looked like a catchable ball, but then he hesitated and it bounced in front of him. So Nashoba has the tying runs on base with nobody out. For Tonizuk, the catcher, who bounced to the first baseman. So that 4-0 lead that dwindled to 4-2 now is in a little bit of difficulty here in the 4th inning. First and third and nobody out. Down and away for a ball. Nashoba fans come to life. There's a few of them sitting right at the dugout. Low for a ball. 2-0. That was ball 3. That was up and in. DiFilippo got some help with that pitch as he fouled it back. Swing and a miss. 2-2 the count to the Nashoba catcher. Late swing, that was in on his fist. And at the last minute, he just swung and fouled it right to the Nashoba dugout. That outfield playing very shallow. Strike 3 called on the corner. Good pitch. Five strikeouts for DiFilippo. Deutschman, the DH, hitting for the pitcher, struck out swinging his one trip. Down and away for a ball. Top of the order, Collins on deck. The runner takes off. The ball's fouled to the screen. I'm surprised they haven't sent the runner long before this. The tying run, trying to get him to second base. He finally goes and the pitch is fouled off. He went again, pitch on the inside corner for a strike. So the uncontested stolen base puts the tying runs in scoring position. Wide for a ball. Evens the count at 2. Chased that pitch. It was way over his head and it was almost by him when he swung the bat. Two away. Collins, the shortstop, has struck out twice. Once called, once swinging. In for a strike. Chase, that pitch was over his head. 0-2. It goes through the wickets. The run's going to score. That's a pass ball. That went right through the wickets. So now the tying run is at third base with 2 outs. Tech gave him their 2 runs in the third with 2 errors after 2 outs. high and tight for a ball. Now they've given him a run here with the error to start the inning, and now the pass ball that went right through the catcher. The runner was halfway home on the pitch. Deuces wild again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Diving back at third is Pepin, and they called a balk. He has to step on. He can't be on the rubber making the throw. The base umpire is going to the plate umpire. He can step off the rubber and fake the throw to third, but he can't be on the rubber. If the balk stands, it's a tie game. They're putting the runner back at third base. So I think the base umpire, I think, thought he was still on the rubber when he faked the throw, but he stepped off. So the base umpire called the balk. The plate umpire said, no, it was not. So Pepin will have to go back to third base, and the game is not tied. So the Tigers got a break. They've already given up 1 run here to help Nashoba inch a little bit closer. The runner coming home. And they'll tag him out. I'm not sure where he was going. He was 3/4 of the way home. The catcher had the ball. It wasn't like the pitcher still had the ball. So Tech giveth and Nashoba taketh away. Collins actually drew a walk. I'm not sure what the Nashoba coach is screaming about, because the hitter walked and was on his way to first base, and the runner from third was, if he wasn't 90 feet, but he was 87. The catcher still had the ball. And he was a dead duck ending the inning. So they leave the tying run at third. Tech gave him a run to get him back in, but they got to be talking to themselves. They had second and third, nobody out in the second, didn't score. They had first and third with nobody out here, and Tech gave him a run on the pass ball. And then they ran into an out with the tying run at third. So we'll move into the bottom half of the 4th inning. And it'll be 9-1-2 for Tech, as it's now 4-3. So a bizarre game so far. We've had some wacky happenings. Tech in that 3rd inning had 2 quick strikeouts, an infield error, and then a pop-up. Infield error would have ended the inning. Then the pop-up would have ended the inning. One was thrown away. The other one was dropped. Followed by a triple by Blaisdell, made it 4-2. And now an error lead in the inning. A base hit, first and third, 2 big strikeouts. And then the dreaded pass ball that went right through the wickets of the catcher allowed the run to score. And then with the tying run at third, the runner came 90% of the way home. Hit the shot. They better hurry. He beat it for a base hit. So Newhall at first with the infield hit. He takes off for second. The throw down nowhere near in time. Eddie Lewis has walked and was called out on strikes. Hit in the right center field for a base hit. They hold the runner at third. Lewis on for the second time. So the Tigers first and third, nobody out. For Coldy Buckland, who was walked twice and scored a run. So he hasn't been up officially, but he scored a run. And now we're going to have a conference on the mound. Catcher Tonasuk dropped his mask, dropped his glove, raised his arms, got everybody together. His glove and his mask are still at home plate. He's out at home plate talking to everybody else. Get some help from the umpire getting his gear back. Buckland will step in. First and third, nobody out. How soon before Lewis runs to second base? The first pitch. So it's second and third. Swing and miss on the pitch that was in on the hands. Hit the shot. Throw home out at the plate. The runner on his way to second base. Now they got the runner off at third base. Out at third base, they run into a double play. Can't get more bizarre than this. Second and third, nobody out. The runner runs on a hit right to the shortstop with the infield drawn in. Thrown out easily at the plate. The runner, the hitter, tries to go to second base. The runner at third, a mile off the bag, gets thrown out. So now at second base with two outs. Hit to right field. And Nashoba can say thank you very much to the Tech Tigers for keeping him in the game. Looked like it might be an inning for Tech. They get two base hits. And they wind up with no runs as they run into a double play. We've completed four. Tech with a skinny 4-3 lead over Nashoba going into the fifth. Foul tip held on to by Nordyke. This is one of the reasons a long time ago I stopped saying I've seen it all. We watched the top of the fourth inning and saw Collins draw a 2-out walk and the runner coming 85 feet down the line and being tagged out. And now Tech, and then Tech with second and third and nobody out, and they run into a double play. I've never seen that in all the years I've been doing this. Second and third, nobody out, and they run into a double play. Courier, the third baseman, popped the second, reached on an error, and scored one of the 2 runs in the third inning. Pop foul. That's going to be up in the seats. So the count goes full. We've had a lot of these. 3-2 counts. Strike 3 called on the corner. Good pitch. Seventh strikeout for DiFilippo. Ferreira, the center fielder, is the hitter. Pitching low for a ball. Swing and a miss. Hit in the air to left field, over the left fielder's head. All the way back to the fence. Around second, going to keep going to third. He's in with a triple. The Tech, I mentioned the Tech outfield before, playing very shallow. And that pretty well hit, but when you're playing that shallow, you're not going to catch it. So with 1 out, Nashoba has the tying run at third base for Blaisdell, who was singled and tripled. And he's knocked in 2 of the runs that they have, and he's got a chance to at least tie the game up as Eddie Lewis comes out for a conversation on the mound with his defense. A high shot. It was hit well, but with the outfield playing that shallow, they had no chance to catch it. And easily into third was Ferreira. And he represents the tying run with 1 out. And a tough hitter. Blaisdell, 2 for 2, a single, a triple, and 2 RBI. DiFilippo's only given up 3 hits, but 2 of them have been triples. Hit foul back. Big hitter for both teams. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Tech is kind of shortened up. But again, the outfield, the left fielder is almost playing a deep shortstop. It pays off this time. He's there to make the play. The catch is made, tag. The runner's going to score easily. Third RBI for Blaisdell, and we're going to tie game. Wells, the second baseman, has walked and flied to left. High for a ball. So we got a brand new game. Way inside for a ball. Bounces that one. 3-0. So Tech had an opportunity to add to their 4-3 lead. And they let it get away, running in. Second and third, nobody out, running into a double play. In for a strike. And we've got our nightly flights over Fraser going to Revere Airport. They come right over the right field fence. Wells draws his second walk. Third walk given up by DiFilippo. Hit foul to the backstop. Santoro popped to first, reached on an error, and scored a run. His run made it 4-3. That was the inning when they got the run. They had the tying run at third. And the run was running on ball 4 and was 3/4 of the way home when he was tagged out for the third out. And Tech gave it back, running into a double play with second and third and nobody out. Knocked down by the pitcher on his knees. DiFilippo makes the play to first. But Nashoba comes back. The triple and the sacrifice fly. And we start all over again. So Barrett on the mound is now back in the game. He was down 4-0 at the end of one inning. He's now back in an even game, 4-4. And it'll be the middle of the order for Tech, 3, 4, and 5. As now Tech has to go to work offensively. They had a base runner in the second, a walk with 2 outs. They had two in a hit pass and a walk with 2 outs in the third. But then they had the big opportunity, second and third, with nobody out. And they run into a double play. On a ground ball to short. Dylan DiFilippo has been on base twice. He tripled in 3 and scored a run, get hit by a pitch. He's accounted for all 4 of the runs. They're all in the first inning. Hits it on the ground. The first baseman easily makes the play at first. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 5th inning. Dylan Nordyke fly to right, struck out swinging. Hit to third. Bobbled, but then they make the play. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Can't go any quicker than that. Roman Valdez has struck out twice, once called, once swinging. And old Mr. Momentum all of a sudden is changing sides. Tech grabbed that 4-0 lead, and Nashoba bounced back and got 4 unanswered to tie it. And now, first 2 pitches this inning result in 2 outs. Up and in for a ball. Up and away, ball 3. In for a strike. So win or lose, Nashoba's going to have a picnic. The young lady walking in front of us has got 5 or 6 large pizza boxes going over to the Nashoba dugout. So they're going to have a little bit of a party after the game, win or lose. A 2-out walk to Valdez. We talk all the time about this being an airway for the planes to come in and land at the Revere Airport. Here's one of the planes coming in now, right over the right field fence. Happens quite often. The runner takes off easily into second base with a stolen base. So the go-ahead run at second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Pop straight up in the air. Third baseman coming on, making the call, and makes the catch. So the walk doesn't hurt. Tech is down in the 5th. We played 5 complete, and we're right back where we started, dead even. 4-4, Tech and Nashoba at the end of 5. 7, 8, and 9 for Nashoba as we start the 6th inning. Pep in the left field, a pop to third, singles. He was the runner at third with the tying run, and when Collins drew a base on balls, he was 85 feet down the line with Nordyke, the catcher, holding on to the baseball. And obviously, they threw the ball to the third baseman, Buckland, who made the tag, and he was out ending the inning. So we had bizarre base running by both sides in the 4th inning. That pitch didn't miss by much. Hit to left field, coming on. Agramonte, that's one time we're playing shallow paid off. One away. The catcher, Tonazuk. On the corner for a strike. DeFilippo deserves a better fate. 2 errors in the 3rd inning after 2 strikeouts. Got Nashoba 2 runs. Hit foul to the screen. And then a big error. And with 2 outs after 2 strikeouts, with runners at 1st and 3rd, a ball right through the wickets of the catcher to the backstop gave them a run. The run in the 5th was earned. A triple and a sacrifice fly. And a called 3rd strike. For the 2nd out, 8 strikeouts for DeFilippo. So it's 4-4. He's given up 1 earned run. Tech got all 4 of their runs in the 1st inning, and they were earned. Waving at that pitch. Deutschman, the DH, hitting for the pitcher, has struck out swinging twice. Hits it foul, reaching for that pitch. Almost by him when he swung the bat and fouled it off. Thought about it, just held up as the ball was low. One, two, the count. High and tight. So we got another deuce as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Strike 3 called. Second 1-2-3 inning for DeFilippo. Tech would love to get a run here in the bottom of the 6th. 9 strikeouts for DeFilippo. He's walked 3, but they haven't hit. The walks had no effect on the scoring for Nashoba. A couple of errors have. It'll be 8, 9, and 1 for Tech. As we're going to start the bottom of the 6th, dead even. Tech got 4, 2 walks, a single, and a triple. The first 4 hitters. And then a big 2-out hit by McCafferty. That's huge because that was the 4th run. Nashoba got 2 unearned runs in the 3rd after 2 outs, 2 errors. Scored 1 run. And then Blaisdell got a triple to knock in the 2nd run to make it 4-2. An error. And a big pass ball right through the wickets of the catcher. Allowed the runner from 3rd to score the run to make it 4-3. And then Tech had that inning where they looked like they were going to add to the 4-3 lead. They had 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. A ground ball to short. They threw the runner out trying to score. The hitter thought he would make it to 2nd base. When they threw the ball to 2nd, the runner got way off at 3rd, and they doubled him off to get the double play on the same play. And they wound up not scoring anything with 2nd and 3rd and nobody out. And then Nashoba got a triple and a sacrifice fly in the 5th to tie it up. And that's where we are, 4-4. Harrison Agramonte has struck out and struck out. Both times swinging. Down and in for a ball. Swing and a miss. Way up and in. Curveball, he was backing away and it dropped in. Seven strikeouts for Barrett. Colin Newhall grounded out second to first. Singled his last time, and he was the one that was thrown out at the plate on the ground ball to shortstop. Low for a ball, 1-1. Top of the order, Eddie Lewis on deck. Little check swing, hits it by first base foul. Way up and in. 2-2 the count. A little off-speed curveball didn't break. Warm-up action down in the Nashoba bullpen. Lined into right field for a base hit. So the go-ahead run is at first base with nobody out. Eddie Lewis will be the hitter. He walked and scored, called on the strikes, got a base hit. So he's 1 for 2 with a run scored. High for a ball. They've been able to run, steal bases all night. Way up and in, 2-0. In for a strike. 2-1 the count to the Tigers' second baseman. Slap to second base. They get one, the important one, the lead runner. I think if you're Coach Lewis, you have to try to get the runner at first to second base. Cody Buckler walked twice, fly to right, scored a run. Way up and in for a ball. Hit foul back and out of play. Hit in the air to right field. Long run for the right fielder. Over by the line. Blaisdell makes the play. So we're guaranteed we're going into the bottom of the seventh because we're dead even 4 apiece at the end of 6. Top of the order for Nashoba here in the 7th inning. Collins, the shortstop, struck out, called on strikes, struck out swinging, and he was the guy that took ball 4 for the walk as he was going to first base. The runner from third came jogging home. I don't know if he thought the bases were loaded. And the runner got tagged out trying to get back to third base after he went 3/4 of the way home and got caught. That was that inning where both teams, bizarre, ran the bases. Hit to deep short. It'll be a base hit. Nashoba has a go-ahead run on. Courier has popped the second, reached on error and scored, called out on strikes. He hit a ground ball to second. It was thrown wide at first base. He was safe. And then he scored when a pop-up to the infield was dropped. Nice stop by Nordyke on a pitch down and away. And those 2 errors came after 2 big strikeouts, allowed Blaisdell to bat, and he hit a triple, knocking in a run to knocking the second run. And every run has been important since it's 4-4. Hit to the pitcher. They get the big one at second base. So 1 away with the runner at first. Ferreira called on the strikes, reached on that pop-up that was dropped, and scored the second run in the 3rd inning. Last time up, he tripled, and he scored on the sacrifice fly. They send the runner. They went to cover second base, and they hit the ball into right center field. They're going to come all the way around and score. Courier was off and running. He came all the way around to score. They went to cover the bag, thinking it was going to be a throw on the attempted steal. The runner, 3/4 of the way to second base. Ferreira hit it through the open hole into right center field. And Courier just kept running and came all the way around the base pass and scored the go-ahead run. It's now 5-4 in Nashoba. Hit up the middle for a base hit. And now those pizzas that the Nashoba fans could really be for a party. As they take the lead, they get excited over there. They were quiet through the first few innings. They got back into it when they tie it up. Now they're really excited with a run in, 2 on and 1 out. In for a strike. So scoring for first on a single. Again, we've had a lot of bizarre baseball here in this one game. High and tight for a ball. Poor Mr. DiFilippo on the mound. Should be trying to close this out for a win. Hit to center field. Coming on and making the one-handed catch is Valdez for the second out. Santoro popped to first. reached on infield error, and he was the one that scored when the ball went through the wickets at home plate for a pass ball to make it 4-3. Swing and a miss. Hit foul, the runner was taken off at second base. I'm not sure why the plate umpire is out talking to DiFilippo. Hit the shot. They'll make the play at second. But the possible huge damage is done. Curry off and running with the pitch at first base. They leave a huge void when the second baseman goes over to cover the bag. It goes out to right center field, and he comes all the way around the score on a single, and that breaks the tie. And the Nashoba's 3 outs away from going over 500 and picking up their 6th win. So it would be a very tough loss for Mr. DiFilippo. He struck out 9. Walked 3, none of the walks hurt. They weren't even close to scoring. He gave up 5 runs, 3 of them were unearned. He gave up 7 hits, 3 of them in the 7th inning. And his team just hasn't been able to do it. It looked like they were going to have a big night, scoring 4 runs. The first 4 hitters in the game in the bottom of the first for Tech scored. And they haven't scored since. It'll be 3, 4, and 5 for Tech. They need at least a run to stay alive. This would be a very tough loss. They really haven't threatened since the first inning, except that one inning, the 4th, when they ran themselves out of what could have been a good-sized inning. The tap of the shot, all they had to do was hold at second and third and not go. Giordano doubled in 3. Hit in the air. Long run for the center fielder. Giordano was out. He had singled and scored a run in 3 trips. His ground ball to short was the force at the plate, and it turned into a double play. Dylan DiFilippo doubled in 3 and scored a run, got hit by a pitch, grounded out first unassisted. He's been responsible for all 4 runs in the first inning, knocking in 3 and scoring 1. And that's been it. The only threat was that 4th inning when they ran into the double play, costing themselves a possible inning and maybe the game. High and tight for a ball. Down and in for a ball. Barrett trying to finish off. After that first inning, he's been very good. Hit in the air to left center field. Long run. In for a base hit. DiFilippo gets a double. Center fielder ran a long way. He dove for it, and he's still down. He's getting up, thank God. DiFilippo's got his second double. And Lintec has a pulse. Trailing 5-4, they have the tying run at second base. Hit that a long way the opposite way. The center fielder, Ferreira, had a long run and almost caught it. He reached up, almost made a tremendous play. Hit to third. They make the play. DiFilippo will go to third. So the tying run at third with 2 outs. They put it all on the shoulders of Roman Valdez, who struck out swinging. Last time up he walked. So it all comes down to Valdez in the batter's box and Barrett on the mound. 5-4, the tying run at third, 2 outs. Lines it foul the opposite way. Tech looking for a little 2-out lightning here in the bottom of the 7th. High for a ball. In for a strike. Tech down to that last strike. Barrett thought he was walking off the mound. He did a little hop, skip, and a jump, thinking that was strike 3. Umpire said, ball 2, deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hit the shot. They better hurry. If they don't get him, he beat it for a base hit. Nashoba not happy with the plate umpire. Tech has tied it. Barrett saying that was strike 3. Coach saying strike 3. It's too late now. First run since the first inning, ties it at 5 in the bottom of the 7th with 2 outs. Coach Nashoba can't believe Barrett talking to the base umpire. He was walking off the field thinking it was strike 3. Are they going to make a pitching change? Wells will be the new pitcher. Barrett will go to second base. McCafferty steps in, and I talked about Tech having a pulse. They're fully alive now, tying the game up at 5. So DiFilippo getting involved again. He's been involved in all 5 runs. Knocking in 3, scoring 2. He's got 2 doubles. On base 3 times. And that little slap to shortstop. Valdez can fly. Gets an extra step being left-handed. Easily in at first base with an infield hit. and the winning runner's at first base. And I would think they would try to get him to second. He takes off. No chance. He's in with a stolen base. So the winning run is in scoring position. And if Tech wins this, Nashoba will be very angry on the bus ride home, thinking they had strike three and won the game. And the umpire said the pitch was high. Barrett was very acting up on the mound, jumping up and down, not getting the call. The runner took off for third, and the ball was hit foul. Oh, 2 the count. Any kind of a hit could score Valdez unless it's in the infield because he can fly. Pop back, catch it going back, can't make the play. So McCafferty gets a life. That could have been 3 outs going into the 8th inning. So McCafferty will get to swing the bat again. They fake the throw to second base, diving back as Valdez. Valdez takes off. Base hit. Tech is going to win the game. McCaffrey gets his second 2-out hit, his second RBI. Valdez was running on the pitch. He scores, and Tech wins it by a score of 6-5. And it's going to be a very angry bus ride home for Nashoba. They thought they had won the game with a strikeout. The umpire called it ball 2. Valdez got an infield hit, knocking in the run. And McCafferty just out of the reach of the shortstop. Collins into left field. Valdez scores the run in the bottom of the 7th. So it's bookends for Tech. 4 in the first and 2 in the 7th. And they win it by a score of 6-5. In the first inning, Lewis and Buckland drew walks. Giordano got a base hit, loading the bases. DiFilippo, a long double. And they're having words now between the two teams. Nashoba really angry over not getting that third strike call. DiFilippo, the pitcher, doubled into 3 runs. McCaffrey got his first of 2 big hits, 2-out single, knocking in the run to make it 4-0. That was it for Tech until the 7th inning. In the 3rd inning, after 2 big strikeouts, Currier reached on an error, stole second, went to third in a wild pitch. Ferreira reached on an error. So 2 errors, had a run in, a runner at first. Blaisdell tripled in the run, made it 4-2. They got another run, an error, a stolen base. A base hit put runs at first and third. 2 big strikeouts, looked like we were getting out of the inning. A pitch right through the wickets, through the catcher, made it 4-3. They tied the game up legitimately in the 5th, getting an earned run. A triple by Ferreira and a sacrifice fly by Blaisdell made it 4-4. And now that pitcher's not going to taste as good for Nashoba. And then the 7th inning, they bunched 3 hits. Collins got a base hit, a force out at second, put Currier at first. He was off and running with the pitch. Ferreira knocked it in the outfield, into right center field, all the way around from first. Currier scored the run, made it 5-4, and it looked like that was it. After an out, DiFilippo got a big double. A grounder to third put DiFilippo at third. Valdez had 2 strikes. They threw a pitch. Barrett thought he had strike 3. He was celebrating. Then he went crazy because they called it a ball. coach went crazy. They had words at the end of the game. They called it ball 2, and it made it hurt even more because Valdez slapped an infield single to tie the game up. He stole second, and then McCafferty got his second 2-out single just beyond the reach of the shortstop into left field for a base hit, and that was the winning hit. The winning run made it 6-5. Tech will close a little closer to 500 at 5-6. Nashoba will drop to 5-6, and the coach is walking in. He doesn't look happy at all, but the game is over, and they're not going to be happy on the ride home, and they're not very happy with the plate umpire. The coach having words with fans and spectators, and now the Tech coach is coming over, getting their young lady who was in the dugout. The coach is just having a nightmare of a time. He's not happy. Ed Lewis trying to calm him down, and the fans aren't helping at all. Eddie Lewis had a walk and a single, scored a run. Buckland walked twice, scored a run. Giordano had a base hit, scored a run. DiFilippo had 2 doubles, scored 2, knocked in 3. He was involved in 5 of the 6 runs. Valdez had a big single, knocking in a run. He scored the winning run. And Will McCafferty had 2 big hits, two big 2-out singles that knocked in a run, the 4th run in the 1st, and the winning run in the 7th. Colin Newhall had 2 base hits, and it was a good team effort, but Nashoba is not very happy, and they're going to go home extremely angry. They have pizzas to celebrate what looked like it was going to be a win. Instead, the pizzas have probably got cold by now, and they're going to be probably colder because they are very angry and having a lot of choice words behind home plate with fans, and it's academic now. It just, you have to take what comes, but a bizarre game. You know, Nashoba running into an out with a ball 4, the runner coming home, get nailed. I don't know what he was thinking, trying to score. And then Tech with second and third and nobody out. A ground ball to short. It winds up with a double play. They don't score. They get 4 in the first. They don't score again until the 7th. And they get another big 2-out hit as they did in the first inning. And they get the winning run, and they win it 6-5. And the coach is going crazy, and somebody should just get him and take him back to the dugout and say, the fans should walk away, the coach should walk away, and now they're finally taking him away. It's academic now. It's over. There's nothing you can do about it, and all you can do now is just getting you and everybody else upset. And the fans should clear out and let him calm down. So, and one of the unbelievable games you ever want to see, Tech gets 2 in the bottom of the 7th after Nashoba gets a run in the top of the 7th, and Tech wins it by a score of 6-5, and tempers are still flaring, and it won't go away for a very long time. This is going to hurt Nashoba, thinking they had strike 3, and it winds up getting a ball 2 followed by 2 base hits that cost them a win. So 6-5, Tech over Nashoba. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm John Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.